with our guy, our fantasy expert, your fantasy expert, America loves him, from CBS Sports, Dave Richard. Dave, it's Jason Ross. Carmichael Dave will be back with us next week. Dave, how are you today?
Who cares when David's coming back? We've got you on the air, Jason. It's great to hear your voice. It's been a while.
It has.
I'm coming to you live from Lake Forest, Illinois, where today the Bills and Bears will have a joint practice. To say that there are a handful of interesting players that fantasy managers want to know about would be a gross understatement. Hoping to have some great stuff from today's practice on CBSSports.com today.
You are constantly working. You are scouting a joint practice today?
This is my third one of the preseason.
Okay.
And I got one more to go.
Well,
I'm out there, man.
Yeah, to be honest, honestly, good for you because when I worked a couple seasons with the Raiders and they had a couple joint practices with the Rams, and then after watching preseason games, I'm like, these joint practices are far more valuable than the preseason games. Do you agree
Absolutely.
with that?
Yeah, 100%. Because, well, I mean, it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
If you're a coach, the preseason games are definitely valuable because It's another data point, especially for players at the back end of your roster. But who cares about the players at the back end of the roster when you've got fantasy studs that you've got to worry about, and you don't see those guys in the preseason games? You see them a lot in the joint practices, though.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, good for you. We've got people that are already anxious. We got one here. So happy Dave Richard is back. Heading to Vegas for my draft tonight with 9 of my friends from high school to do a live in-person draft. Then tomorrow, going to the Niners-Raiders game. Question, how early is it to draft Ashton Genty from the Raiders? Well, there we go. There's our first question.
And it's a good first question. It really comes down to what type of league you're in. If catches don't count, he's a first round pick.
Okay.
Certainly all the upside and everything else that he comes with, it's a big deal. But if it's full PPR, you might see him slip to maybe the early second round.
Okay.
He's still a very, very talented young man. I really did not like what I saw from the Raiders offensive line in their first preseason game, but it's preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that Pete Carroll's going to get that taken care of.
Yeah. Well, let's have you drafted yet? I know you end up in a ton of leagues. Have you had
Have I drafted yet? That's like asking if I have breathed oxygen yet. Yes, Jason, of course I've drafted.
Okay. How many?
And I've got many more to go.
Nice. Well, let's ask it this way then. So in general, we know, because you're so right, you always tell everybody too this, it's really incumbent on how your league scoring is, but we'll try to do a general one. If you're picking, I'll give you a couple spots, Dave. If someone gets the first pick, second pick, third pick, just in general, what names are you seeing there going 1, 2, 3?
Well, certainly early on, I think you're going to have a choice between Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, maybe CeeDee Lamb creeps into your mind, maybe Christian McCaffrey snips into your mind. I think the strategy is to take who you love with that first pick and then really be prepared for what comes back to you in round 2 and round 3. And try not to get too many players from the same position. So if you get a receiver in round 1, then you need to get maybe a running back or 2 with your next 2 picks.
Yeah, so you're still in that philosophy, receiver, running back, early to first 3, 4 rounds, something like that?
I'm sorry, Jason, I missed your question.
No worries. Are you still in that philosophy of running back, receiver with multiple picks in that first 2, 3, 4 rounds?
Yeah, of course. And listen, I don't mind taking a quarterback, but it's got to be a quarterback that's available at a good price. We want somebody that has good value. You don't want to reach for a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen with your first pick. And there are people that make that mistake. And the reason why it's a mistake, obviously those guys are great and they put up a ton of points. You're missing out on talent at all the other positions.
Mm-hmm.
You might be drafting one of these great quarterbacks, and that's cool, but you might be missing out on Saquon Barkley. You might be missing out on Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can name everybody in the first round if you really want me to. You get the point. There are a lot of players that have some huge upside. You don't want to let those guys go in getting a quarterback when a lot of the teams in your league, they're going to get a quarterback later on, and they're going to be much better values than Lamar in the first or Josh Allen in the first.
Well, let's ask maybe on the negative side, is there a player or 2 that you're maybe some of your other counterparts or other experts like you are higher on than you are? Are there a few players you're staying away from?
Let's go back to the Raiders. And Brock Bowers had a monster year last year. But now it's a completely different Raiders offense. Ashton Genty is going to be there. That means that they're going to be able to run the ball more effectively. It makes me nervous that the type of target volume that Brock Bowers is going to get won't be as high as last year. And he's going to need to make up for that with supreme efficiency and a lot of touchdowns. I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying taking him as a top 15 pick when there's no guarantee he can play like Travis Kelce, I feel like that's a big mistake. So I would stay away from that. And then with the news of Rashee Rice having a hearing on September 30th, we don't know when he'll be suspended. We don't know how long he'll be suspended. It's cool that he'll be available conceivably for the first 4 games of the season. But after that, it's a grab bag. He might miss the rest of the fantasy regular season, and then who knows what he'll be when he does come back from suspension. I would take him, but it's going to be late round 6, early round 7, somewhere in that range before I put him on my fantasy team. I know he's good,
yeah,
but I'd rather draft Xavier Worthy because I know he's playing 17 games.
Dave Richard joining us, CBS Sports. Dave, you mentioned him earlier. Christian McCaffrey, no doubt, when available, produces. I mean, that's not a question. But last year, some people got burned by him. You already touched on him. Where are you with McCaffrey?
I'm taking him in the first round, running right back to him. It's a different situation from last year on 2 fronts. Number one, he's healthy now. At this time last year, he was still dealing with something. We thought he'd be okay. We were still taking him at the 101, and we knew that there was an injury issue. Now he's not even in very much consideration for the 101. Maybe in a few leagues he could go first overall, but I think you'll see him certainly not be the first pick in the draft. So you're kind of getting him at a discount, so to speak, and he's healthy. He's fine. And then here's the other front. 49ers finished in last place last year. They've got an unbelievably favorable schedule. So now we're taking a guy who's as good as Christian McCaffrey. He scores like a fantasy quarterback, and he's got an easy schedule to start not just start the year, Jason, the whole year. I'm going to bet on that. Yeah. And it's easy. I could take Garendo with a late round pick, or if he's not going to be the guy to start the year, I'll draft Jordan James. Whoever that backup is, I'll get somebody to kind of ensure that first round pick. But I really think Christian McCaffrey, as long as he's healthy, he's going to have another huge year. Everything is setting up nicely. And by the way, who's catching the ball in San Francisco besides Kittle and Pearsall?
Right.
It's going to be Christian McCaffrey. And we kind of love those points that he gets for all those catches.
Yeah. So you mentioned Kittle, McCaffrey, or Kittle and Pearsall. Any other Niners that would be on your radar?
Purdy and Jawan Jennings are good late-round grabs. We don't know when Jawan will come back. I don't like that he's missing so much of training camp, be it because of the injury or because of the contract. But he does need to get back in there. I'm a big fan of Ricky Pearsall, though. I think he could have a very big year. And obviously, if the receiving core is banged up and they're running out of guys for Purdy to throw to, Pearsall is going to get more work in that offense. And that's kind of rare for a wide receiver in San Francisco to get a lot of volume. Usually they spread it around. Usually they don't throw a ton. They run it a lot. And so if there's an opportunity for Pearsall to see more than 7 targets per game, I think he's going to crush it.
All right, 2 more for you, Dave, and we appreciate your time. We know you're out there at practice. Let's ask you about people I asked you who you're staying away from. Who are you trying to get on your team? I guess this could be equivalent to sleepers, but also like, hey, if I got this team, I got to get these guys.
Last year, I loved Brock Bowers. This year, I love Tyler Warren, Colts rookie tight end. You saw him a little bit in the preseason game. I think he changes how that offense throws the football. I think he could have a very big year. I'm going to have to get him in like late round 8 or early round 9 now because people know how good he is. But I still think he's one of those guys that could be absolutely outstanding. And another receiver, Green Bay, Matthew Golden, he's really been phenomenal in camp. And I don't know if he's going to end up being the best wide receiver among the rookies because, I mean, Travis Hunter is really good. Emeka Egbuka is really good. There's a Ted McMillan. Holy cow, he's great. But I think Matthew Golden's the best value. You can get him in that anywhere from round 7 through round 10, and he could perform like a top 24 wide receiver.
All right, the last one, self-serving for me. Keeper League, had this one forever. We've kept McCaffrey for a long time, and he's been awesome for us. We got hurt last year, obviously, but that's okay. Sure. But we got Gibbs, and so now we're in that spot going forward, Gibbs or McCaffrey. Gibbs has got more long runway ahead of him, but we're leaning Gibbs, but I don't know if I'm going to regret that.
Don't lean. Push yourself in. He's younger. He might be better.
Okay.
And you've obviously got a player who's just as versatile and just as fast. And I think the Lions are actually going to try and do more with Gibbs this year.
Ooh, okay. I love it. We look forward to this every week. Dave, you are the best. Enjoy practice. We look forward to your evaluations on this and everything else you have. What do you have coming up on your side on CBS Sports?
Well, certainly we've got content galore. So if you're drafting this weekend, swing on by CBSSports.com. You can read all kinds of draft strategies by position or where you pick in the draft, sleepers, breakouts, and busts. It's all there on CBSSports.com. It's free, by the way. And we've also got our live shows on YouTube. Go to YouTube.com, Search for Fantasy Football Today, like and subscribe to the videos, and you will be on top of everything that makes you a better fantasy manager in 2025.
Awesome. Great to have you back. Enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to talking to you every Friday.
I look forward to talking to you, Jason, but I don't know about the other guys.
I know. Well, I'll see if I can keep him trapped again one more week. Thanks, Dave.
I appreciate that, man. Have a great weekend.
Right.
Good luck in your draft.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. How about that? I mean, I love the text. The guy heading to Vegas, his high school buddies. That's how you do it to get your draft in. Good notes there. Hopefully that helped you. He helped me on the McCaffrey versus Gibbs debate. All right. When we come back in the next hour, Sports Business with Kelly Brothers. But first, 3 for Madness. 3 questions, 3 answers. That's next.
The Drive Guys.
On the 925